Welcome back, everybody, to your ESWC coverage coming to you live here from the Join Dota studios. If you haven't heard of us, you definitely will. And if you haven't heard of me before, well, your eardrums are now to get about it. They're going to get a brand new workout. Is the words I actually wanted to say. We are rushed for time. So without any interesting introduction, because he's interesting enough, Syndrome Man, welcome to the broadcast.
Yeah, that was, you didn't have an interesting introduction for me, but you had a real interesting one for yourself that time around.
Thank you,
I don't know what
you.
you were
I'm here all
tripping
weekend
on.
as well as into the other
man. I don't know what's going on with you, man. But yeah, it's great to be here for another game. This one, yeah, of course, as you said, the draft has already been done, so there's not too much for us to actually talk about during the draft. I'll go very quickly through the picks for both sides, talking a little bit about strengths and weaknesses. And then I figure you'll jump into play, not to play, but to tell who plays what. Hopefully you don't jump into play. That would be a shame, then we wouldn't be casting. Anyway.
Then I'll be owning, man. I'll be owning. Crypt Profit, man. Crypt Profit destroys everything.
Yeah, all right. Well, looking over the lineups on these teams, I believe NextKz are on the Radiant side, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, they are indeed. Tons of stun in early mid game, you've got to say. All right, they've got a bottom. Well, the Mirana has some sort of mid-late game potential, and that the rest of the heroes incredible during the first 30 minutes. They've got Night Stalker, Sven, and Venoman, so incredible heroes during that period. They've got Leshrak, nice stun, nice nuke, incredible for taking down towers. Well, I've said incredible quite a lot. He's amazing at taking down towers with that Diabolic Edict, of course. Deals massive amounts of damage to towers, and to units, and to heroes, of course random in the area around him, so the less targets are around him, he's actually going to deal more damage to the single target. It can single kill a support hero if he runs next to the hero for the full duration, so it's very powerful. On the other side, BX3, do you even know what that stands for? I've never really understood that reference.
BX3, no, all I know is that the old Rangers team, that's what most people actually recognize them as.
Yeah, well, they've got some pretty powerful team fight. Not too much late game for them either. They've got a Razor and a Windrunner, neither of them really being considered as hard carries. But the team fight in the mid game for them is very, very immense. They've got Sand King, Tidehunter, as well as Lich. And if they pull off that combo, you can say bye-bye to the entire next squad. They've got to be very careful about the positioning, but at the same time, they've got some really good stuns.
In the mid lane, Sven triggers the first stun. They've already got the Gale. Leshrak with a second stun, and SK Burrow strikes them all. Sven's just getting a crap load of damage, but Venomancer claims the first blood. Tide wants to come back in for a bit of a gush, but Next has already slain the middle hero. He does respawn. He have a long walk back, but SK is just like, crap, man. That so wasn't the plan.
Oh, he actually almost got a rebuttal kill on that Sven because of that beautiful stun he pulled off right when Sven was actually tanking that tower. But still very fast first blood for once. You have to say the latest couple of games we've had have actually been a little bit poor on kills, but not poor on action. It's been a lot of pushing rather than ganking. This game, we're going to see a lot of kills. So it's great that we actually get to show this game to the people out there. I swear to God, there will be lots of kills during the first 30
Don't you
in this
say
one.
that, man. Like you said, oh, I swear he won't go Lincoln Sphere or Mirana, and then we saw what happened. He went Lincoln Sphere or Mirana. I don't want you to say
There's not going to be any kills in this game, guys.
That's it. That's what we got to go with. That's what we got to go with. But I do really like these lineups as well. Like, there is no late game. There is no big late game. Like, Razor can get pretty beefy, but so can Mirana. But they're both kind of like that role of I am a mid-game hero, but I can also be done in late game depending on how I'm actually played and built. And that's what really excites me about this one, because it's just, there's never going to be that one hero like an anti-mage that just basically dominates all, bar Night Stalker. Night Stalker, I gotta say, there's been a couple of moments where we've seen him walking around with like 4.5k HP and just destroys the living crap out of everything. So he is the only hero on the map I'd say is actually capable of doing that. But then Razor is also possible to actually get to the point where he is unstoppable. And with Lich for support in the bottom lane, that makes it a little bit easier. And I forgot I didn't actually do what you said I would promise I would do, Sin, and that's to actually introduce who is actually playing what. So we've got Keckman on the Razor, Oleg on the Lich. We're going to run through BK3 first. And we'll jump in towards our middle lane, where we've got Benza. He was actually the first one to die as the SK in the middle lane. Up towards Tainan, we've got Yusef. He'll be playing up there, and Vinny camps off the BK3 liner, or the BX3. What, BK3? Yeah.
BKB?
Yeah. No, BKB? No, Shout out to Millard if he's not tuning in. Well, actually, he is. He's just not listening. He's currently restreaming and casting this more than likely. Let's jump through our NextKz, guys. So we've got Lucky playing as our Venomancer. We will see if he is exactly what his name decides. Whoop, hello, Tidehunter. Very, very close to the Sven. Just gushing with harassment. There's nothing really that he can't chain a shackle shot up, but he can power shot through Sven. He gets blocked his own creeps, wanting to run away from it. But yeah, so we got KZ. He'll be playing as Marana. We already went through Lucky in towards our middle lane. Mantis is sorry, I just call him KZ, and he's not KZ. His name is R, playing as Marana. We got Mantis playing as the Night Stalker in the middle lane up against the SK, and then our top lane is Vanston. Oh, it's beautiful, but it's not enough. It gets both the Tide as well as Windrunner. Leshrac didn't couple the stun. I think he thought that was enough to kill off Windrunner.
Must have had cooldown.
Had to be. It had to be. Impugned. The mana is gone, so yeah, it's possible he used it, but oh, that was a guarantee. That was a fantastic stun by Sven. I really love, ever since they changed Sven from actually being a single stunning ability to an AoE stun, so awesome. And then the couple of that too. 2 AoE stuns that can chain off each other.
Yeah, very powerful, both of them. Deal tons of damage, don't only deliver a long stun in succession, but actually have high damage outputs. Both of those spells, landing those in succession is going to deal a ton of damage on the Windrunner. Oh yeah, on the Tidehunter up here, but it's probably Windrunner they actually aim to kill on that lane. As far as middle lane goes, Mantis should be having a very good time with the Balanar, especially considering they scored the first blood on Benza before he actually came back to the lane. So he must have been at a little bit of an experience deficit there. And you see Benza sitting on level 4, Mantis level 5 on the Night Stalker. And, well, the first night is approaching quickly, and I want to see some action.
It's going to happen when we do it the night time, because it happens just before the 6-minute mark. So I think it's at 5:54 or something like that the night time actually ticks over. Which is a weird time. You think you just make it every 6 minutes. Yeah, but not the case this time. There's a little bit of damage being taken on the top there by the power shot. I'm watching my little health bars up on the top to find out who's actually dying. Look, everybody on the Radiant at the one time took a little inch of damage off. Sven stunning on Vinny. Tried to actually cancel off the power shot. And then again another stun from Leshrac. Obviously once the setup stun goes, Leshrac stun's a lot easier to actually hit. Or Leshrac. I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, which is my thing. That's what I do. That's what I do. But yeah, it's one salve later and a whole bunch of mana which you don't have to actually cast again. Well, actually, yes, they do. There's a bottle on that Sven. That's really surprising for a heroes on the top lane, especially when they got a Night Stalker. They're running dual bottles for NextKz.
Yeah, I want that early game dominance, and of course if Sven decides to start roaming, he can control the top rune while a Night Stalker controls the bottom one, and then, well, one of them will use the bottle for it, but they're going to be very, very keen on getting that rune control. And of course, with that early mid-game lineup they can really get something done with all of their stuns. They're going to aim on getting ganks going rather than team fights, because the team fight on the Dire side is very, very hefty. They don't want to mess with them in a 5-on-5.
But they also want to mess with them before we get all these up, like SKs, like Tidehunters, and Liches. With the combination of those threes, you basically lose your entire life for the Radiant.
The Balanar goes for my skill build. I am now happy. Somebody who skills him like me. At least I think he got Crippling Fear on level 2, or on level 4.
He's level 6 and has it at least. He's got 1 level of Hunter in the night.
Yes.
So we got 3 Void, 1... Yeah,
I'm loving this. Thank you, Mantis.
It's always a fun thing, and this is one thing too, like if you're new to the world of Dota, watch these matches to see how each person actually skills their own hero. There's always different ways of doing it, and that's what makes this game so diverse, and what makes people go, oh, it's such a steep learning curve. Because you look at this, there are so many ways you can play different heroes. The ways you actually level, what items you actually get, and just the manner of you go. Do you farm? Do you gank? Do you get an urn of charges up on the Night Stalker early on? How do you actually play your hero? That's why, watch this stuff, watch the pros. It's why we broadcast. You guys can learn this game as well.
Night Stalker has indeed gone for the Urn of Shadows as well as a bottle, so he's got a great start on that mid lane. He must have a very high creep score to have those items already as well.
I'll bring it up just for you. He's 32 for 11 right now.
Yeah, 32, so he's doing very well in that mid lane.
Razor's actually 32 for 12 on the bottom lane, so very even now. Night Stalker wants to dive in behind the tower. There's a creep wave there. That's not where he wants to be. Sven actually roaring, and they just run straight past the tower and back up again. They didn't realize the Tide wasn't there. The Tide was back next to the tier 2 tower. Now man's like, oh, there you are. Void and run. That's all I can really do now. Some heavy overextension.
Yeah, a little failed gang attempt there, and NextKz need to be careful not to throw away too much of their time during the night. They really need these kills to be successful. But of course, the moment Balinar actually goes missing in that middle lane, they retreat it up on the top lane. They know something's cooking. And wisely enough, stay defensive while Benzer actually farms that middle lane. So he's going to catch up to Night Stalker like this. When Night Stalker is out ganking unsuccessfully, they're actually tied on XP now because he didn't get anything from all that movement.
So I just want to point out right now how awesome what Lucky is doing. He doesn't even need to attack him. In fact, by attacking them, he actually pulls them out at him. By putting the wards in the side, the Mud Golems are actually trying to run into that point, and he has vision inside the river. Just by laying these wards here. Great place to actually farm while also giving your team some vision. Just a nice pointer coming out from Lucky.
Yeah, I'm actually not sure if this is doable in Dota 1 at this moment. I actually think even wards draw aggro and that the creeps will run around or try to run out. I'm not sure, but...
Nice Stalker going bottom. The arrow is actually hit here on Razor. The stun from Sven. Razor will go down. Night Stalker gets another one. Well, she doesn't know he shares it. Lucky actually got the first one.
And that's going to be absolutely great for Mantis, of course. What's really important about getting these kills for him as well is getting those earn charges up. Of course, gets them whenever he's inside the range and gets near to the kill. And gets 2. Whenever the urn is empty, you get 2 charges. Whenever you've got charges on it, you get 1. So going from 0 to 2
hits bottom lane. Razor came in. It's a good burrow strike, and look for the epicenter as well. He's just actually sandstorming it up. Fantastic play coming out from BX3, and they will push Lucky back. They'll have another burrow strike in a second. There we go. There's a gush to fold if they need it, but they do not need it, and they trade it off. SK, great time to actually be there. He did not pop the epicenter during that fight, though. I don't think he actually had enough mana to actually do it, so he just burrow striked in, held him in place, and they had enough damage to actually kill him off, and Razor now comes back to the bottom lane as well.
Yeah, great fight for them, getting those 3 kills. I don't think in the wildest dreams that they could have imagined on the next side that they would be met by that much defense all of a sudden. But great timing from BX3 to land those 3 kills and put themselves on the board.
BX3 do have so much work to actually do. They're down on the bottom of the pool right now. If they do win this, then NextKz actually find themselves out of the running. Because at this point, if Orange actually lose to Na'Vi, they level up on points. Oh, actually, it's Na'Vi lose to Orange. They level up on points, and NextKz, they need to actually win this to actually stay up with the points of everybody else in their group to actually go to that time rating. So it's not just important, there's probably the reason why, and it's only just dawned on me. Whoop, hello top lane, Night Stalker diving. Vinny is gone, so dead, so gone. Night Stalker gets the kill as well. But it's probably the reason why there's actually no late game hero at this point, bar that Night Stalker as a possibility, because they need to win this game fast. The time rating will come into play if we have a 3-way tie, and that's the only way they can get through right now.
Yeah, that's very true. They're going to be able to pull it off quickly if they get a lot of good ganks going. But so far, 3-3 the score, and BX3 are holding on nicely.
Oh, it's another
and no
gank.
tower's being pushed
It's another
down.
gank. They want to go back past the tower. Will they go? They're coming in close for the Raw, and BX3 are holding in the towers. TP support being forced to come in. SK has actually brought off his lane. He's not going to be happy about that, especially now that NextKz have actually fallen back.
Yeah, and let's just hit his level 6 as well, so that's a huge level up for the BX3 boys to get the Swedes. Having that Chain Frost, when NextKz, they have 2 melee heroes as their primary damage dealers at this point. Sven as well as Night Stalker will as the ones actually doing a lot of hits.
Oh, this could be beautiful. He hangs inside the trees. Now he goes for the stun. Arrow will chain, and Lich with the urn charge. He will die, but Miranda wants to ensure the death. And Night Stalker doesn't want to end there. He wants to go up, missing the stun there by Leshrac, and also letting off the Edict. It's not going to be enough. It's a good SK Burrow Strike as well as Sandstorm. It's causing a lot of damage to Leshrac, allowing Vinny to actually get the last kill right now. Now Night Stalker wants to go back in again. There's still a lot of mana up, but there's still not enough mana for an Epicenter. Benson's going to have to leave that one out once again. get silenced. So thinking about burrow striking. I don't think he's actually got enough for a combination for, well, actually, no, he doesn't. He's 180 for a burrow strike and sandstorm combination. Misses the burrow strike on SK. The shackle shot has nothing to latch onto, and they needed both of those to hit to actually get the kill. And because of that, now Mantis, the tier 1 tower goes down, and he'll feel very, very safe there in the mid.
Yeah, and that's going to be, these are the kind of gangs, I've said it before and I'll say it again, these kind of gangs are very important, the ones that give map control in the sense that you get towers as a result of the kills. Tidehunter is still not up to level 6 yet for the Swedes, and that's going to give Next a lot better opportunities to actually go for these fights in front of the towers. The big problem is going to be Lich, but they eliminated him before they actually started pushing the towers, so great timing there by them. And yeah, the bottom tower is also half HP. Venomancer putting constant pressure on that with his Plague Wards. So good play overall by NextKz, and they've got themselves a slight advantage now.
Yeah, that they do. But BX3 can get it back at any point. Like a slight advantage is something. But if you get yourself a good Ravage, really please get that Tidehunter up to level 6 sometime soon. But if you get that Tidehunter Ravage up, all these battles could actually end completely different. Tidehunter Ravage goes off, Windrunner has time to get himself in position. SK has that bottle as well as at least a magic wand, so that pool is getting a little bit bigger for that mana pool. So we can actually Burrow Strike, Epicenter, then Sandstorm as well. Needs to actually get this stuff to actually happen. Tier 1 tower's going to go down the top. TP support's coming in. Vinny's here. Managed to dodge the arrow, even with the Night Stalker slow. The stun missing. Oh, the Leshrac unable to actually time it. The TPs get delayed when there's multiple heroes there. Leshrac's going to TP out. They need to find him. They need a shackle. There's nothing. Oh, misses on the stun, but at least actually TP is out in time. Mirana's taking a lot of damage. It's Gush to actually death. Tidehunter is there and actually blocking the SK. That path is only big enough for one person to get through unless you're tiny, and Tidehunter is pretty fat. So SK forced to actually TP back down towards the bottom lane.
So yeah, they get one kill in rebuttal there for pretty much their top tower. I think that top tower is like 5 hit points or something, and we see a pink ping coming up there. I think they want them to deny that tower. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it should very much be deniable. I thought it was
9 points, man.
Terribly
got
low.
9 hit points.
Yeah. So they can deny that whenever they want. Doesn't look like they'll do it just yet.
Lich ultimate, it's bouncing, and Night Stalker's illusion's actually working against him. He took too much damage from that, and SK able to Burrow Strike to hold him in place, but he gets that kill before he goes down. Munches the life through Lich through the void. In the meantime, too, we do actually see Night Stalker getting... Oh, they both just kill each other. And it's Lucky killing the bottom tower. The top tower is still not denied yet. Razor's just walked straight past it. That tower they're keeping up for the moment. And hang on, well, they can't give this. They're going to give it. Leshrac's going to get the last hit. This is getting a little bit sloppy.
Yeah, I don't think BX3 have realized this. If they had, they wouldn't leave it up at this point. Sometimes you leave deniable towers up actually to allow yourself to teleport to them, but well, it was obvious that Leshrac was pushing that lane and Razor was out farming the neutrals instead. So a mistake there, and it cost quite a lot of gold when you think about it. It's well, if you deny it, it's 100 gold per team member of the opposite side. Right now it's 200 gold per hero plus the bonus of the tower itself, so it's about almost...
I think it was actually 430, wasn't it? I saw pop up just then.
Yeah, so quite a bit of gold, almost 1.5k instead of 500. So that's a very big deal actually. It's about 1,000 extra gold they get from the Forgotten Deny by the Swedes over here, but for BX3. But I guess the boys from Kazakhstan are going to be happy with that. Small gold
SK, if he can get a good Burrow Strike right now, the two of them are lined up. He only strikes one. Sandstorms as well, but it will be enough to kill off the Venomancer. Razor goes through, less off the plasma field, and that's what gets him the last hit. He got a couple of Venomancer wars to actually farm up too. SK could have if he got himself a double one then, actually threw down the epicenter, and that would have been a double kill. But in the end, he saves it. I haven't seen a single epicenter just yet. He's had that for a very long time.
Yeah, it's very true. He doesn't have the big mana pool just yet, but I think he has the gold to buy the arcane boots. He hasn't done it just yet. It's what we often see Sand Kings go for, to have that mana pool exactly to...
come on, Lich, come on, Lich. No, you can't get close enough. There's 3 heroes chasing. 4 heroes, in fact. Vinny was there as well. Without that stun from Sven, they probably would have actually got that kill. It's just that stopping of Tidehunter, so he couldn't throw down the Gush and pull one back. But Leshrac and Sven really being weirdly aggressive over the other side of the river.
And we might just point out, if you look at Tide's icon at the top, all right, now it changed colors, typical. All right, it was blue beforehand. When you have that the diamond beneath the, inside the hero logo, shows the ultimate. When it's black, the ultimate is on cooldown. When it's green, the ultimate is ready and you have mana for it. When it's blue, it's ready but you don't have mana for it. And when there's no diamond at all, you haven't skilled your ultimate yet. So you can see Windrunner, Mirana, as well as Leshrac have not skilled their ultimates. Every other hero's ultimate is green, which means it's ready and they have mana for it at the moment. So that's very useful from an observer perspective. Of course, when you're playing inside the game, you only see the diamonds for your allies, not for the opponents.
Yeah, because you obviously can't have that type of intel. The whole thing is you can only know what your opponent actually knows. That's why you can't. You can only know what you can see. That's why you actually can't see the creep stats. You can look at them and you go, oh, fair enough. You got to click on heroes to actually see their mana bars as well. It makes life a little bit more difficult. SK burrow strikes and TP's out. Very, very fast. Very, very lucky there. KZ could have actually let off that war cry and got there a little bit faster to actually catch up. And he would have got there in time to actually stun that SK. But in the end, yeah, he doesn't, and they just go farm up the top lane. In the meantime, middle lane's actually going off, and he's in trouble. He'll die to the Venomancer ulti, but that's a great Lich ulti! NextKz, lucky in Storm. Not lucky at all. In fact, actually getting killed by the Storm. Wow, that's slightly ironic. By Razor's Eye of the Storm. 6-9. BX3. There's that team fight we're talking about, and that wasn't even the full lot of it. Was it the Ravage as well? No, it wasn't. Wasn't the full team fight.
And they must have been a little bit in over their heads, Leshrac as well as Venomancer there. They actually ended up fighting in like a 2-on-4, 2-on-5 fight there. So good thing for BX3, they didn't throw their Ravage in that. That really shouldn't be necessary in such an outnumber situation. But I think NextKz, they know they've got to win this fast if they want to play for the time rule, but they need to get the job done as well and not overextend like that. That was very, very aggressive placement by those two heroes. Venomancer and Leshrac don't have any escape abilities, and they're fighting next to a tier 2 tower in the middle at 19 minutes against a full missing squad. It's that's damn risky, and they're facing the consequences for it there.
The word that comes to mind is suicidal.
Yeah,
I should know. I am the guy who basically invented actually doing that. Not on purpose. Unless you're playing techies, at which point, yeah, hell yeah, it's on purpose. But he's not added to the world of Dota 2 just yet. For people who don't know who techies is, just wait. When he gets added, you'll have a lot of fun making people rage with him.
Yeah, kind of like the secret bomb squad of Dota 1, placing mines all over the place and staying secret, and then, of course, Can suicide himself exploding. But yeah, we'll see. I'm very excited, actually, to see how that hero will look visually in Dota 2. Of course, the modeling is being done on several heroes that we haven't seen yet, probably.
SK might be in a little bit of trouble right now. Night Stalker's here. He sandstorms up. He can't stay there because that's when. Oh, what a play by Benza! The stun's already been used by Sven to actually try and slow down the Tidehunter. Tidehunter pops off the Ravage. Shackle Shot doesn't actually latch onto anything with Mantis. He's trying to catch up towards Lich. SK with, again, a fantastic burrow strike. There's no epicenter. He has a sandstorm, though. But Razor is there. Fantastic play by BX3. Arrow will hit there on Razor, but that's just going to stop them from chasing. I want to give props to SK. Two amazing burrow strikes just then. TP out from Leshrac, and they just turned something that was so NextKz's kill into something that was so just amazing. Beautiful. Applause to SK, and he goes again! Burrow striking in the middle, Lucky goes down. For some reason, really diving the Tidehunter, and he will live. The ultimate from Venomancer won't be enough to kill him.
Yeah, Benza landing a lot of those stuns. Does have the Blink Dagger as the result of that, of course. Hasn't really died apart from that first blood, I think. He might have died once more, but has the Blink Dagger at about 20. We'll need to extend his mana pool and, yeah, probably to be able to pull everything off as he wants to, but he's doing great so far. And I think it's great to have requests come in from the chat sometimes.
Well, we're going again. Burrow strike to set up. Sandstorm to damage. Even with the DD rune, the stun's coming out from Leshrac will hold Razor in place. Sven Stun will try and hold SK in place. Blink Dagger's about to come off cooldown. We might see initiation here on the Leshrac. It's a long, long range when you combine the Blink as well as the Burrow strike. But at this point, it looks like they're not going to. And sorry, your question from the IRC chat was?
Yeah, we get some requests now and then. Especially what's been the most requested today actually is for you to show the gold graph, and it's great that people point out when we forget now and then to show this, of course, the functionality.
Stunned. They need a chain stun. The gush from Titan is here, and SK with the epicenter. Leshrac. Oh, you would think he had life points. The power shot actually hit there on Lucky. They didn't know where he was because of the Mirana ultimate. But in the end, Sand King with a double kill. We'll show the gold graph after BX3 stops actually dominating NextKz. And in fact, we'll make it that point right now. It looks like it was 4k gold advantage towards NextKz. But over the last couple of minutes with a couple of fantastic fights, it's just dropped by about 2,000. In fact, there's the update in the graph. It's now down to 1,500.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, so BX3 catching up on that gold graph. Amazing, actually, that they're not ahead.
SK, Burrow Strike, Shackle holds the Mantis in place. Can't go anywhere, and the DD on Sand King doesn't give him the kill. It's actually Vinny that claims the last hit. So Sand King dealing a crap load of damage. Bottle charges, ready to do it all over again.
Yeah, looks like BX3 will have to pull off a lot of kills actually to even up the gold score. Of course, that is because they've lost 3 towers themselves without claiming a single one. And that just shows the importance of getting towers. Of course, what the graph does not show is actually the experience. I'm not sure, is there an experience graph? Because the experience for the Dire should actually be higher than that of the Radiant.
You can see the experience per minute, and if you can do your math pretty fast,
yeah,
it's a lot higher. It's a lot higher.
Yeah, the experience on the Dire is a lot higher, but the gold is actually still lower.
They get something back at least. Let's caught out. That double stun and slow.
And they've got to get these kills because now with the level advantage on the Dire, these kills are going to give a lot of experience to catch up for them. And of course they've still got the 3 tower lead, but when you see that the gold is evening out and there's a huge XP advantage for BX3, it's only going to be a matter of time before they're able to get towers in trades now. Or well, not in trade, but get towers back.
And watching this middle lane, I really hate Venomancer sometimes, but I also love him. But the fact he's actually just like throwing level 4 wards out, it's like a minefield down the middle. It's just a pain in the ass for BX3 to try and push out. That's one thing. SK, Blink, Burrow, Sand. Tide needs to get faster there, but he's not fast enough. It's a problem when you're dragging a fish around. That thing's like an anchor, man. And he's got an anchor as well, so he's currently walking around with 2 anchors. I didn't even think about that when I said that the first time. Just want to point out, good old Tide Hunter, Pimp Tide here on my side. He don't need no anchor. He needs an ESWC flag as well as a fish.
Good stuff indeed. At 24 and a half, or well, 25 minutes into the game actually, we've got Lich. I think he must have that mech for the Dire now. I suppose he's going for a mechanism for them, now that they've got all those kills in...
No, nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. Ward, stick, boot. That's all he's got. Looks like we're going to see a pipe up for Razor with Vanguard. Windrunner has the mech with the phase boot.
Okay, so they have it on Windrunner. Yeah, of course. Fair enough. Yeah, so they've got the mechanism, and they've almost got a pipe on Razor. If he wants to buy it, he can actually do that. And I think that has to be a no-brainer. Pipe here is amazing against the entire NextKz lineup. The Razor will have to pick that one up, and then I think they can actually start forcing the team fights.
Oh, we're about to see a forced team fight here by NextKz already. They want to go, well, not even a team fight, they just want to pick somebody off. Tide is there, but he still has his Ravage up, same with Lich. Night Stalker comes in range of the tower, their visible silence goes on Lich, TP support's coming in, it's a double TP. It's going to take a wild TP, triple TP in towards the middle. Rallying the defenses here by BX3, and what a blink and burrow because the ward is there! They need a stun! Leshrac is going to get out, it's not fast enough! Leshrac with a TP timing. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. That's the 3rd time he has actually escaped death. SK now blinking down. He wants to try and burrow strike here on Lucky. He's not in range of it just yet. He doesn't know what's up on that higher ground as well. So we'll decide in the end not to go for it.
Yeah, he's going to go towards the bottom instead, and Potom has been pushing that one out. I'm not sure if she actually reached the tower yet.
No, it's actually done a little bit of damage. Tower's out 918 of 1600.
Alright, so it has taken about half of that. And well, NextKz, even though they're behind by 8 kills, it still feels like we're playing on BX3's half of the map.
I just love reading the IRC chat. There's just one guy that says, Tobi doesn't miss a lot of kills. I've actually seen a crap load of kills this game. It's been awesome. I just want to point that out while I'm on a hot streak before we actually hit the point where it's just like, oh my god, I'm missing every single one. Just want to take a moment for that. Pipe is actually done already. Razor's got that as well as Vanguard here at the 27-minute mark. Nice Stalker actually heading down towards the bottom lane. Arrow hits on Vinny. Set up there by the defense stun. Starfall will help out. That Windrun making it very, very difficult to attack, but Night Stalker seems to hate Gingers so and destroys him out with a void. It's a problem when you have no soul. There's a very, very large void, and that's what happened to Windrunner just then.
Yeah.
Only Rangers can say that, by the way. I'm just going to point that out right now.
I wonder what happens when a Windrunner goes for a soul booster then, if it actually works.
Can you boost no soul? I don't know. In the meantime, NextKz pushing the tier 2 tower. The Mana Star completed on Mirana. TP support's going to come in. Tide wants to get close. Blink Dagger on SK might be able to set this up right now. They know that's not the real one. There goes the SK Blink. He can't get close enough to actually stun anybody. So there's no option there for BK3. BX3. Damn it! It's like you with saying Balinar. Except for me, it's just slightly retarded. Blink it towards the middle. He does find one. But instantly, the pipe popping off by Venomancer. Venomancer's got the pipe for NextKz. He was expecting the Burrow Strike as well as the Epicenter. And now the pipe's on cooldown for a while.
I actually think that was a great comment you made there. Sind, I'm like you, just retarded. We're going to use that to generalize with instead.
Thanks,
like,
man.
Oh, it's like what you say, just retarded. Yep. Got that right.
2 days of waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning to cast ESWC when I'm used to waking up and then casting all through the night. Yeah, this is like the epitome of retardedness for me.
Anyway, some sort of, I don't know if you could call it a comeback for NextKz.
SK, Epi, Burrow! I really thought Sven was going to get out of that. He might. No, he won't. Sandstorm kills him. He walked right. He walked east when Sand King blinks west and then had to actually Burrow Strike himself back to the east. That's right, he travels the world with a Burrow Strike and a blink.
And a great kill from Benzer there as well, because it allows Vinny to take down that tier 1 top tower now. And even has the support of his allies if something's going to go down after that.
Looks like it's going to be a gank on the bottom lane. TP support, right time there for Tidehunter. Spots Mantis very, very fast. The Venomancer ward spots up Tidehunter, as well as Razor. Razor rotating back towards the middle lane by the looks of it. They were setting up for more kills. I'm really happy actually to see kills, Sind. I'm really happy to see some kills.
Yeah, we haven't had as many as I actually thought we would, but it's still not too bad, 24 at 30 minutes. But usually with lineups like this, you'd see something like one or 1.5 kill per minute. But of course, it is a tournament game. The teams might be a little bit afraid of making mistakes, a little bit cautious. But still, yeah, we get some good kills coming out. But now the question arises, Tobi, if this continues, who are you going to put your money on for late game?
I think it comes down to how much farm Night Stalker and Mirana have, and I'm looking at it right now, and Night Stalker's got 107. What have we actually got flying out for him? It's not a completed BKB just yet, but it's going to help out. 140, 107, and then it's 198 for the Storm Spirit with 4 kills, for the Razor with 4 kills and 1 death. My money at this point, if we're going to go late game, is actually going to go on the, is actually going to go to BX3. Sandstorm actually helping to kill off. Night Stalker pops the ultimate to get himself out. There's not another Burrow Strike, but there's TP support coming in. Burrow Strike will be up in just a moment. Sven's already here. Leshrac joins him. But my money will go on BX3. We're going to keep with SK, but he blinked himself down. Beautifully played. Beautifully played there by Benz. I've been really impressed by his play today. But yeah, my money's on BX3.
BX3 arguably have some really good farm at this point on the Razor, but the question is if they're not able to pull off their teamfight potential with that Sand King and Tidehunter, for instance, if the Radiant gets some BKBs.
SK is Epicenter once again. He doesn't have enough. He stuns. Sven comes in, holds a stun. He's having to tank the tower. And Ravage pops. It's still not enough to kill the Venomancer, but in comes Razor. One surge. That'll do it. However, an arrow is very, very bad for your health. He has cop one in the back end of play. Gives time here for Mantis to run in the front area. The Eye of the Storm is up, but this time Storm will not want to die to it. And it'll be Keckman who will go down. Let's up another surge. He's actually going to kill off Sven in the middle of it. So much farm, and he's still not dead. He's still alive. He gets 3!
Has fallen.
Leshrac gets a tower. That's the only upside for this. He was pushing the bottom lane by himself, completely absent from that battle. He could have TP'd at any point. But BX3 Razor gets himself a triple kill. I believe it was actually the illusion of him which was struggling. Oh man.
Middle tower is under attack.
And that is just the power of the Storm, the power of his ultimate there. The Eye of the Storm, when you're allowed to actually run around for a long time, slowly burns the armor of the targets and eventually deals a lot of damage when he starts attacking them. And of course his tank ability right now is incredible. He's got a pipe and a vanguard. And of course his passive ability as well, which gives a mini purge to anyone who casts a directed spell at him. It's annoying for a hero like Balinar. Actually, I'm a very, very dedicated and very, very big fan of Balinar myself. And one of the heroes I hate playing against the most is actually Razor, because every time I cast Crippling Fear, I get purged. Every time I cast Void, I get purged. When I run to him, I get my damage stolen. And then he's also freaking fast himself. It's a brilliant hero to have against Night Stalker. And so far, you saw it. It's working out very well for the Swedes as well. It's a great counter.
And maybe Tobi is right with his prediction. NextKz though, like I'm looking at Murano, and oh, here we go again. Burrow to the Abbey, the leap. Oh, he gets away, the pipe goes up, the stun as well, the Gale is up, and he's in over his head. Benno, wow, that was a hell of a lot of overkill. But they do kill off the Sand King. I think there's a little bit of a built-up rage here by NextKz directed towards that Sand King.
Where is my button? Poison Nova!
Ulti, yes! Meanwhile, bottom lane Vinny TPing at the right time. Is there a stun? Oh, there's not. Really aggressive on that TP, on that lane push. Same with Razor up on the top. What's he gonna buy? What has he bought? He's already bought. On the Courier, Yasha and Ultimate Orb. Manta, done. On Razor.
So yeah, he just bags a full Manta now. And well, one thing is to finish off a Manta, another thing is to go from not having it to having a full item of that size. It completely changes the next fight. And you saw how powerful Razor was before, in the next fight, if they don't realize he has this Manta now, it's going to take them by surprise, and suddenly they take much, much more damage than they would have expected. Now he's been farming for a while, they've probably seen it now. But wow, that's going to be very hard to deal with for NextKz. But they're still pushing the lanes. What's the gold graph like now?
It's a very, very good question. It's actually pretty leveled. Like, the Radiant have had a pretty distinct advantage for a while. The Dire have been pulling it back, but it's just going back up again. NextKz are still bringing in the farm. They're still pushing the lanes, but they haven't got themselves a Rax. For me, that's going to be like the game breaker of all game breakers, if they can actually claim that Rax. But there's one Tier 2 tower left up for the Dire. Every single Tier 2 tower is still up for the Radiant, as well as the Tier 1 on bot. Well, for now. Razor's kind of down there. I don't think much is going to stop this push. Even SK is actually hanging inside the trees, waiting for the TP support to come down to try and stop him. Same with Lich. Lich should actually show himself. And now actually the TP in towards the mid. Mirana's actually been pushing in. They push in on the Tier 3 tower. And BX3 forced the TP back. And now the TP down towards the bottom lane. Night Stalker's here. They don't find SK, but they have some dust. SK, there is nowhere to hide, baby. Gets stunned up by Leshrac as well. They bring down SK. They try to track down the Razor. He is on the retreat. They will not catch up in time. Tier 1 tower lives for a little bit longer.
A great play there by NextKz, by the way. Pushing in the middle to make one of the heroes from the bottom lane TP in. They realize that, immediately swap around, so they bring more numbers to the bottom. So what they basically do is they divert the forces of BX3 and immediately take advantage of their knowledge, swap the hero down towards the bottom, bag that kill on Sand King, and now they're actually going to try to cap it off by getting Roshan. That would be huge if this works out for them.
It looks like their bag is not full enough, man. They want to actually put an Aegis the Immortal in it. And they probably will throw it into Night Stalker. Throw that dust off him, let him be aggressive. Or maybe even the Mirana. Mirana's dealing a crap load of damage too. She's got Manta as well as Maelstrom. And that's actually going to really help out. But there's smoke right now. They find the Night Stalker. The BX3 Roshan goes down. Mirana does pick up that Aegis the Immortal. Night Stalker running from the static link, but he can't run fast enough. Tied with a blink. Gets the block on. Night Stalker's got nothing, and Ranger's got everything, including Night Stalker's soul. He's going to give it to Windrunner a little bit later. They're collecting souls.
Yeah, that was actually very, very close to Night Stalker escaping, but he chooses to sacrifice his own life there to try to give them some sort of safety.
Blink on Sven, but Windrunner! Oh, I love the escape. But is it an escape? No, it's not. Mirana's here. Latrak's trying to catch up. There's no arrow. It's missed as well. TP support's going to come in. Can they turn this around? Razor's in town. He does get stunned there very, very nicely by Storm, but SK is back. The Blink, the Burrow, and the Rage is building once again for Storm. He will turn himself into a Typhoon at one point and just try and kill that SK. Sven with a good TP out as well. There's hiding in the other side of the trees.
Yeah, godlike Keckman on that Razor now. He's getting bigger and bigger with every fight that happens. He never dies, he just keeps getting kills and farm at the same time. And the question is what he's going to use the farm for, what he's going to build as his next item. But I still can't help but have this gut feeling, Toby, that it's, even though these boys these Swedes on the Dire side, even though they get these fights somehow, I still don't feel like they're leading the game that much. They're ahead by 10 kills, 21-11, but it feels like NextKz are actually still the ones in command of it.
They are. They are. The gold
and
drop
they have the farm advantage as well. They keep taking the initiative. They keep
SK's about to go.
the
Burrow strike with the epicenter. They want to get Mantis. There goes the Burrow strike. You blinked in first, then the Sandstorm. They all get stunned up by Sven. But already, Night Stalker is dead, and also killed by the creep wave. So, share and share alike for BX3.
And the Night Stalker has actually chosen to go for an Aghanim Scepter. He didn't go for the BKB that you called, even though that would have also been a very great item choice, but prefers to have the little, what we call the legal map hack. Of course, the 2000 area of effect unobstructed vision you get from that Aghanim Scepter, so you can watch across cliffs, trees, and whatnot during the night. The only thing you actually can't see is invisible stuff. But, well, when you're dead, it doesn't really work.
Prepping, no. Like, does just have an epicenter, the range of a Burrow strike as well as Blink
very
Dagger.
True.
You'd have to go to the maximum extent of that range from Night Stalker to actually use that without him knowing about it.
Very, very true, and that's actually a great idea to have the Aghanims for that, especially, well, the Tidehunter has a Blink as well, so if they can actually spot those out, they realize not only whether they can take the fight, but also how they should position themselves if they choose to do it. So it's a great item in that sense. You need to use it. It only works during the night, though. BKB also works during the day.
It does. Had a really, really bad pump. I'm going to hold it back for now. We see a Sheep Sick now up on Windrunner. So converting Sheep to her cause, or at least for a very, very short amount of time, converting the opposition in. And having that now, as well as Razor, still walking around with 2,700 gold. I'm wondering what he's actually going to get next. Like, if we do see, like, Evasion, we see Butterfly up, so Mirana actually can't damage Razor down at all. SK blinking in towards the bottom lane. They want to kill the Venomancer. Sven and Night Stalker here as well. So it's not where they want to fight. Night Stalker's got that vision around that bottom. The tier 1 tower at 40 minutes is finally going to go down because 5 heroes from BX3 are there, while Mirana's actually pushing out the tier 2 tower and top forces Windrunner to actually go up there. But we've actually got Majolina completed now on Mirana, and he's going to just attack. Great arrow! Starfall as well. Windrunner still actually has a little bit of Windrun left in her. Well, Power Shot, but Mirana does not give 2 hoots. Takes down the top tower, gets the last hit himself. Meanwhile, back down the bottom lane, BX3, they're looking to initiate, but then again, so will NextKz, and Mirana can join them. SK, Burrow strikes in. There's no epicenter, but there's a Tidehunter Ravage that can do the job. Finds 2. Instant buyback here by Sven. TPing in. He needs to be here. Mirana's also here. Razor's in close with the Eye of the Storm, trying to right now go on Night Stalker. And Night Stalker is currently chained up. SK with the epicenter. There's no time for a pipe. Venomancer finally gets it off, but it's already too late. He's lost his fallen comrade. Sven stun, blinks up, arrow chain. They get the SK, so the Rage is finally purged for just a moment. Tide goes in, but it's the Starfall in the Eye of the Storm from Razor, ripping through this NextKz lineup. They haven't killed him yet. They almost might. They will do. Night Stalker's here. It's a double kill for the Sven of all people. They bring down the Razor. Lich has escaped down towards the bottom lane, but he's not out just yet. Windrunner's up on the top lane. And Lich just hanging down the trees. He has no TP scroll. And Mirana's having a search. Thinking Lich is already gone, but they are so close. It ships in the night, man. It ships in the night right now.
Yeah, and if only Night Stalker were here, they'd actually see Lich with that map hack. But, of course, he's not there.
Olich is going to hide there for, well, who knows how long. He doesn't have a TP, so he might have to stay down there for a very long time, actually, before he gets out.
I don't see a courier flying in. Nice stalker as well, going top lane. It's daytime, but he hasn't popped off the night. Actually, no, he has. It's actually still nighttime. What am I talking about? He's catching up to Vinny. Silence. Slow. Vinny turns him into a piglet for his work. Will they keep on chasing him? The Snotler is moving through for him. And Vinny's still on the run. Runs back past the creep camp. Sven is here, blinked in closer. Sven's stun will hit. Windrunner held in place. And Leshrac coming in as well. Gonna completely miss the stun, but tries to let off a bit of a lightning storm. Windrun pops for a second time. Nice Orca with a slow. Double TP coming back towards that top lane. Both Tide and SK. They come back up again. And they will destroy off this dire creep wave, which they have pulled in. And SK Burrow strikes, then Sandstorms. They see him though. There's the gush. Sven moving back. For some reason, Dro Ranger is beyond godlike, but Dro Ranger's not playing in the game. What the hell?
It's just, this game is, and then, oh, it was just so epic, and now Havos has joined the game. Havos joins and rapes everyone. He just got 10 kills. Game over, man.
Game over, man. Game over.
Oh man, that's some good shit. That's when bugs are harmless and very, very entertaining. That's some good stuff.
We have a new glitch to add to the beta forums. Someone check at the 43-minute mark in our last game that Na'Vi played in if Havos actually went beyond godlike at that point, and it remembers at that point. I want to know that. Oh man.
I've seen this happening once before, but I think it's a very long time ago. I have no idea what causes it, but it's very, very awesome when it actually happens.
Luckily, it's recorded for prosperity for all time.
This is one of those bugs that should be fixed the latest, because it's so entertaining when it actually comes up. Fix everything else first. Let us have some beyond godlike streaks from somebody who's not even in the game now. That's great. Alright, meanwhile, back in the game we're actually watching now, and not the one we were casting an hour and a half ago, we've got... the reason why that fight, actually, we didn't really get a recap on that fight on the bottom lane in which Razor was actually killed, but that's the power of the Aegis of the Immortal that Bottom had in that fight. The Mirana resurrected there. The Sand King used that Epicenter Blink stun, got 2 heroes with it, that was all good.
Oh, nice
Too bad
Stalker.
one of them was...
hang on, wait 1 second. They might go for it. No, they won't. They'll be fine. Okay, meanwhile, back at Sin's thoughts.
Yeah, I was basically finished, so it's alright. But yeah, that's the power of the Aegis of the Immortal, and I guess the new Roshan will actually spawn in not too long, and he's going to be very important for either side to bring down. I actually think he's most important for the Dire to bring down so that the Radiant don't get it, rather than to have the Aegis for themselves, while the Radiant really need the Aegis. It's,
well,
with the power of the team fight...
If the Radiant get the Aegis, then they will actually have the confidence to push into the main base, and actually attempt on the racks.
Yeah, the problem for the Dire is that they have one big team fight explosion, and if there's one thing that's great against that, it is to have the Aegis, because when you're back there, then they've kind of blown their load, while the Radiant have several consecutive stuns.
Nice Stalker's being a little bit crazy right now. Force the Mirana Aldwin to actually pop off, but he's going to keep on stalking the Razor. Stalking the Razor. Arrow's going to fly. Will it actually hit? Where is the arrow? Where is Anthony? They find out Benset. The silence is on him right now. They can't get in. Lucky, well... Slightly Suicidal wants to run in there. Tide blinks up. The Ravage is still, it's there. The pipe already popping off from Lucky. That's a massive premature pipe. But the stun from Leshrac will let them buy up a little bit longer. Burrow Strike and Sandstorm. Leshrac has already popped. Now pops the BKB, sorry. It might be enough to let him actually live. It might be, it might still be. He goes in the trees. He's on the run. But Razor gets the kill. Power shot from Windrunner would have finished it off as well. But waited just long enough for that BKB to actually stop and then let off the attack. And now we will probably see the tier 2 go down in the mid. And possibly also Roshan is not up yet.
Did you just see the message on the screen, by the way, to the left?
No.
Take a look at Mirana.
What does she manage to actually... Well, hang on, okay, Mirana. What, seriously? Oh! I love it. I love it. Give me a kill. Give me anything. Give me anything other than a Lincoln Sphere. Mirana could really carry this, depending. But they need everybody up. The arrow will hit here on Vinny. And Mirana just goes down and starts attacking. He goes back up again. Tide is in. The Ravage goes. And no, Mirana is key. Can they kill her? She's a piglet. She's a dead piglet. Razor as well. The Surge goes just to frost up the carcass. and so is Night Stalker running up towards the tier 3 tower on the top. Sven lands a very, very nice stun, holding Razor as well as Sand King in place, but everybody has full life. The pipe did just pop off then, but and the Venomancer War's going to make it very, very difficult here for BX3 to push in, but that's why they have a Razor who will never, ever die with that hood. And now the Eye of the Storm pops off. Leshrac gets him, tries to actually pop off a good stun, but when there's two illusions there of Razor, they don't want to go in close. Fortification buys themselves some time, 7 seconds before the next creep wave will actually spawn, and Leshrac trying to come in closer towards Razor. The Gale goes off on Windrunner. She's actually in Windrun right now, so won't have that for escape, and Night Stalker knows it, starts to initiate. The silence goes, wants to try and bring down Windrunner. There goes Ben, lands the stun, SK's back, Burrow Strike. There is no epicenter though, it's still on cooldown for the moment. Lucky's there in the middle, the Lich Ollie's going to bounce around. There's a big creep wave for it to actually disperse onto. Razor picks off Sven, the back end of play. Then it finally pops up the oldie. Leshrac goes down. Burrow Strike here on Lucky. It's a double for Razor. It's one for Lich. And it's only Night Stalker who's still alive. And he's actually not even inside the base. He's going walkabout, man. He's actually going to pick off Lich. He's going to get Lich. He needs the void. Needs the void. Gets the void. And Night Stalker will run towards the top. The mid will not survive though. The melee barracks will go down. That should be all they'll claim though. Mirana now comes back to life. Night Stalker might see if he actually gets Sand King. Not there in time for the silence, where the Burrow Strike will go. Epicenter is off cooldown. Razor also pies off one little charge, but Night Stalker will want to go this now that Mirana's back. Can they actually get some revenge kills? This will give them an opening. Razor trying to pick off the Night Stalker. Still trying to fall back right now. Night Stalker actually went back, but Mirana stealing a crap load of damage. Destroys the Razor. The dominating spree is ended. He has more than enough money to buy it back if his barracks are threatened, but they want to try and force the buyback, so NextKz will want to push after this point.
Yeah, no, a very, very messy fight there going on. I mean, if you look at the Radiant there, Bottom dies before the fight even actually starts.
Mirana, what are you doing there? Picks up the tower, but it's not safe. But she runs out, picks up the tower, Mirana will let it go.
Yeah, Windrunner is very tough to bring down now as well. Has the mechanism, the Windrunner ability, the side of Vise even, to lock down Bottom. So a pretty safe tower kill there, and it runs off very quickly, of course. Doesn't want to stick around any longer. But NextKz need to be careful not to make the same mistake they just made then again. Having Bottom die before the fight actually starts. If the Mirana is able to stay alive and just stand passively in the fight and deal the damage, she's gonna eventually pick them off one by one. And that's one thing, she died, which was a mistake, but then afterwards, NextKz actually choose to engage the fight outside the base, 4-on-5. They were holding the tower, they were harassing nicely with their spells, keeping the HPs on the BX3 boys at about a mediocre level, and then they want to engage outside the base without their Mirana, and they've really got to pay for that, lost the barracks, and well, unfortunately for them that mistake, but might be just what BX3 need to get a big enough advantage to try and press it through on the next fight.
And I just want to point out right now
Yeah,
the BX3 advantage. the graph kind of says it all. Blink up towards the top. Lucky is so royally stuffed right now. And they're losing off one hero before we're going to go. He pops the pipe, but it's not really going to help him. On the bright side, he has a minute cooldown on the pipe and 63 seconds before he respawns. So on the bright side, when he comes back up again, the pipe will be off cooldown. On the downside, he's dead. Night Stalker Mirana actually going to push up the mid lane. Going to force the TPs back, so Roshan's still up, but I think this is all distraction. They want to push out these lanes, that's why we see Leshrac pushing out that bottom lane, pushing in towards the tower. Mirana might go for this, but once they realize how many people are back, they should just fall back and pick up that Roshan. He is back up again, and that's exactly what I think NextKz are doing. Leshrac pushed out the bottom, there's a TP coming towards the top. Actually, no, Mirana's up there. They're not going to go Roshan. It's going to keep the pressure on the dive for this point.
And going Roshan would be too obvious at this point. I think BX3 would realize and then take the fight 5-on-4. And if there's one place NextKz don't want to fight at the moment, it's inside a narrow space like the Roche Pit, where the Lich ultimate, the Sand King ultimate, and the Tide ultimate is going to hit everyone. They're going to explode if they get that combo in the face, all of them. So need to be a little bit careful on the positioning. And 6k gold on the Razor as well. Might see what he chooses to use that for. Could buy up a full Butterfly, for instance. Would be a pretty cool item choice, seeing that Mirana does not have an MKB to go through the dodge chance of that one, and to have the damage as well, of course. So that would be a pretty neat item for Razor. We might also go for a Heart of Tarask just to have that extra bit of health. Well, not a bit, a pretty big bit, and yeah, the regeneration as well.
this is what I don't understand when you get to a point like this, why you're still walking around with 6.6k. Like, even completing the helm into a Satanic. Fair enough. Please do that. But and TP scrolls, obviously important from to actually have, but when you've got 6.6k gold and the battle hasn't even started, now Mirana comes up, wouldn't it be great to actually, well, he has an invis room, so obviously great to have one of those. But wouldn't it be great to actually have something used for that 6.6k gold instead of just saying, I'll have enough to buy back if he dies to Mirana and be like, well, if I had a heart, that wouldn't have actually happened.
Yeah, well, and the fact is you can only rebuy once anyway with a 4-minute cooldown. In the older versions, which had no cooldown on rebuy, you could argue that this could be a good idea because you could rebuy twice. But right now, there's no reason to save gold for more than one rebuy. It's just pointless. And well, he could buy at least the Messerschmitt's Reaver. Probably, yeah, he could finish the Satanic if that's what he wants, and actually still have the gold for a rebuy. And I would definitely recommend him doing that now. He's going to be that much stronger.
He's going to have to fight. He's going to fight right now because it looks like they're teaming up for Roshan. Is there a reward? Yes, there is from the Radiant. Watch them actually head down towards that bottom lane. I'm wondering if they're going to go... Yeah. I don't want to see BX3 go Roshan, force a fight in a confined area, and then he dies because of it. I don't want to see that. I really don't want to see that. That'll be sad. Ben's on the top lane. TP support's coming up there.
But hang on a minute. The Sentinel, or well, the Radiant, do they just have... do they suddenly have 2 BKBs?
Yeah, it's a BKB on Sven as well as a BKB on Leshrac.
Okay, so, but yeah, Potom doesn't have hers yet. The Mirana really needs one now as well, I think, or an MKB.
Actually has enough for it. Roshan's now going to start up. Razor's the first one to the front lines. They deal so much damage, especially with that focus fire coming up from Windrunner, who actually has that MKB. MKB as well as a Sheepstick. They know this is going to be happening. Lucky just wants to throw down a ward. Roshan, 2/3 of his HP. Courier flying in right now. Picking up the magic wand there. Venomancer Water seeing this actually happening. Attacking on the Courier Night Stalker. It's the Mirana ultimate to set this up. He might even get the last hit. If they get in, he is actually killed by the Dire. Windrunner picks up the Aegis Immortal. Tight under is here. He doesn't want to pop off his Ravage just yet. Gets stunned there by... Actually, doesn't get stunned there by the arrow, but SK in with a big epicenter. Lich Ultimate as well. Everything is going horrible for NextKz right now. By the fact that Mirana is actually still alive right now, she needs to leap away. Will leap away. Running for a living life right now. Leshrac is also back at base, already TP'd out. SK with a Burrow Strike in the back of the blink means Mirana will actually die. Instant buyback into the game. But big battle there for BX3.
Yeah, and that was actually, it was kind of the prophecy of what I said that couldn't happen for what were they called again? NextKz. Wow, I totally lost it. But yeah, if that fight happens in that narrow area, they got caught by the Tide Ravage and then the Chain Frost, and they just can't deal with that damage, not until they have more BKBs than they actually do. Fair enough, they've got one on Lesh, they've got one on Sven, but the Night Stalker and the Venomancer just popped immediately, and that's going to cost them the second set of barracks down on the bottom lane, and now it's going to be very, very hard to recover. Losing one side of the racks, it is probable you can come back. Losing 2, it's very, very, very hard, and losing 3, it's next to impossible.
This is going to be basically GG, especially if they're going to try and initiate right now to try and push BX3 back out again. I don't know if BX3 will actually want to fight this. They still haven't actually spent all their money just yet. Vinny actually on the run back. He's got 4k gold. Sven blinks in. There goes the stun. And BKB up from Sven at this point. For some unknown reason. I don't know if they actually thought they were going to initiate on him. Stun from Leshrac. And they will pick up the Windrunner right now. She'll probably just buy back straight back into the game. In fact, yep, does exactly that. Uses that money. Just please tell me right now, Razor spent something. Meanwhile, actually up on the top lane, the tier 3 tower is almost gone. Mirana's actually pushed this one through and picks up a tier 3 tower. Turns into a pick as a reward, needs to leap away. Leap is still on, it's not on cooldown, but she's shackle shotted up. And what a shackle shot by Windrunner. Well, that was worth the buyback. Mirana is gone, and not only just gone, but gone for a minute and a half. The massive push here from BX3 towards that tier 2 tower and down will now come.
Yeah, now they can, yeah, well, that 1.5 minute, Mirana can't rebuy. She did that beforehand. I think, yes, she did. So that's not available to her, even if she has the gold. And yeah, Assault Kira has finished on Razor as well. Of course, that minus armor aura from that works on buildings as well, so it's going to speed up their pushing pace. And I actually think they can make it. They can almost get the racks at least. Yeah, they can get the racks in 70 seconds if they push this one through at full speed. And they know this. They're just going to go all in on it. All their heroes making their way up towards the top lane. Takes them about 10 seconds, or well, 5 seconds to wipe out a creep wave, and then they're just going to run through. And, well, it's going to be close, but perhaps they can actually make it before Potom is out.
44 seconds. That's a pretty fast push to tall ask, but it's going to help the fact that Sven's actually there in the middle lane. He's got a TP scroll to come back in just a moment. Venomancer does not, so he's having to walk back for the moment. Night Stalker also walking back. He has himself a TP scroll, but they're not in position to fight this. Mirana, 25 seconds. In they come. Enter the base. Tier 3 tower fortification will buy themselves about 5 or so seconds. Venomancer trying to hold them off, throwing down a couple of wards, pulling the creep wave down, but Razor, he's got himself as well as 2 others, replicates himself because he's basically a Narcissus, and now he'll bring down the melee racks on the top. There goes the melee. Radiant will now follow. Night Stalker pops off the Night, and double BKB actually negating the entire effect there of the Tidehunter ultimate, and Lich ultimate, no, that is not negated. Leshrac as well as SK raped royally there, as well as the SK ultimate. Mirana is now back again, but has no support whatsoever, and Equals calls out the GG. The top rack is now gone. They will push on through, and we'll actually now go down in towards the middle, and they will take out the tier 4 barracks. And there goes Night Stalker as well. Mirana, the only one left alive once again, but that was one hell of a GG, Sind.
Yeah, eventually overpowering NextKz. The moment they got that fight in the middle, they were in a really good position by killing the Mirana and then getting the first set of barracks. You could just see from the graph how things were going, and yeah, BX3 just pushing it through eventually here by getting one more big fight, getting the bottom racks, and yeah, then it was kind of over at that point. But an interesting game, and actually. Well, now we almost reached the 1 kill per minute, but when you look at the score, 17-40, looks like the Radiant were completely demolished, which they actually weren't.
It was actually a pretty even game.
It was a pretty even game, but they made a couple of crucial mistakes, and then the score ends up like this. But it doesn't really reflect, because if you look at it in this way, it wasn't really a 2-1 win for the Dire. It was more like a slight win, but eventually the kill score does not really reflect the game. It's like a match of tennis. The scores in the sets can be 6-0, 6-0, but if every single one of the games goes to 40 to deuce, right? Then it's a very close game, but the score doesn't reflect it. That's kind of like this game.
Sind, I hate to interrupt you, but we got to run right now. The game is actually ready to start. They're waiting for us to actually join, so stick around. We'll be back here in just a